Now let's do a couple more warm-ups. Feet wide, toes out. Best way to protect your back in gardening, whether you're lifting, turning, carrying, picking things up, putting things down, is to learn how to really use your legs. The legs are much stronger than your back muscles, and a lot of times we avoid using the legs because it's just more convenient. It's just kind of easier, and we have the habit of just using the back. But you can retrain your body. So here's a couple ways to do it. Swimming dragon is one of the best. So first, just squat down and up and wake up the legs, knees and thighs. This is where this is how you check your stance is appropriate for you. If you're squatting down and this hurts your knees or ankles, you're gonna need to shorten it up. All right, or maybe rotate. Depending on which angle your toes are, it's gonna affect how your knees and hips feel. So play around, find a nice sweet spot, a Goldilocks zone for your squats, and then settle in, press your palms, and now glide left to right. Now again, this is another checkpoint though. If this bothers your knees, you may need to widen or shorten or rearrange your toes. First check will give you a good idea, but this is fine-tuning it now. All right, so you're practicing transferring a load while your back is totally comfortable, totally relaxed. So now press your palms toward the bent knee. And then your head turns opposite your hands, swimming dragon. Gliding. Transferring that load. You're carrying that bucket. Moving that bag of dirt. Using your legs. Now, candle flame, rising up. And just get your back to open in all different directions without any load on it now. Just warming, rotating, swiveling. You'll feel where those little aches and pains are, or those little vulnerable points. Charting them in your mind. All right, back to center now. Inhale, bring your hands out, and let's pick up the bucket, squat down, pick up. We'll start with just a 5-pound bucket, okay? Use your legs and lift with your leg power, shoulders back. All right, and we're gonna set it back down by using your legs, squat, and let it down, release. Come back up. If you need to adjust your feet, bring them in or out, go for it. This next one's 10 pounds. Ready? Squat. Pick it up, 10 pounds. Press through the heels and your hamstrings rise up. Lift. All right, now set it down. Squat and lower. And then stand up. Rearrange it, set your feet. Now notice how I'm not going like this. I'm not bending down. The hips and the butt stick right back. All right, this bucket's 20 pounds, ready? Squat, hips back. Pick up, it's like a shrub in a bucket here, ready? Pick it up. Strengthening your legs. Lower back down. Release. Okay, so far so good. Notice where those might be little aches and pains, if there's little creaks and cracks. All right, this one's 40 pounds. You ready? Face it straight on. Hips go back. Pick it up even lower if you can reach the bottom of it. Keep your head, neck up, and press to your heels. 40 pounds. Now we're gonna walk with it a little bit. Carry that 40-pound bucket. All right, we found a place. Now, wide stance, we're gonna set it down. Use your legs, squat, slow, slow, slow. Back is neutral. All the way down, release. Good. All right, and then rub out any sore spots, even after that, if your back or your hips. Before you go on, rub it out. Now, you've picked up that 40-pound bucket and you're feeling like, oh, there's a little strain here. Should you A, just ignore it and keep working, or B, stop and do something about it? B, correct. So now you've found a nice big cherry tree and you're gonna use it as your stretching post. So face the tree, or in your case, maybe it's a wall, something solid you could lean into. So find a wall and you're gonna press into it and walk your feet back, bend your knees, and then you're gonna stretch out your back like this. It's kind of like a wall downward dog. Hang onto that tree or wall, press, and kind of also stretch a little side to side, feel the back, releasing pressure. You can then straighten your legs for a little hamstring stretch, neck neutral. Okay, and now counterpose a tree upward dog. So press into that big tree and arch your back, look up at the branches. Stretching. If you need to walk your feet closer to reduce the angle, that's okay too. You can do it one more time, bend the knees, hips back. Stretch out your spine and lower back. And then upward. Raise your chest, look up, and gently extend your spine. Bend your knees and step away. Okay, how's that feel? So that can make all the difference. Just that little 1 minute break after you've done something and you feel like, uh-oh, I wonder if I strained it. Instead of just pushing through, stomping, doing something, stretch it out, all of a sudden you can feel brand new. So little breaks can make a big difference. All right, next one is when you're tiptoeing through the garden and you're trying to not step on that daffodil, you're trying to get that weed all the way back there. So we're gonna practice moving in our samurai step. Now I don't know if the samurai were good gardeners, but they were good at sneaking around on rooftops without getting caught. So the way they would walk is they would transfer their weight without devoting any weight to that extended foot until they were quite sure that tile wasn't gonna slip. And then they would transfer. And this is a really good way to move for balance, because usually if we try to step on something and we commit our body weight first, we can't stop ourselves. If, oh, that's actually a rock that's gonna slip. Or we can trip easily because we've committed. So by slowing down, shifting the weight, and moving an empty foot, you're gonna be able to balance much better. So let's do it. Feet together, shift to one foot, empty the other as it lifts up, step in any direction, but don't commit your weight until you really decide. Then shift your weight, and don't lift the other foot until it's empty. Transfer the weight to the front foot until the back foot is weightless. And only then do you lift it up. And imagine you've got a little garden path with pavers through. One step at a time, shift. Transfer your weight. Don't lift the back foot till it's empty. Samurai step. Moving very smooth and deliberate and controlled. You can go front, back, sideways. Your hands can balance. Starting with small steps and then working up to bigger ones. Feel the weight transferring at your command. Very little disturbance to your balance if you move an empty foot and you put down an empty foot. There's no momentum, there's no weight. That gives you control. Take another minute, walk around your garden with the samurai step. And eventually you can do it without looking down, but looking forward. Gliding around. All right, make your way back to the center and stand comfortably. Take a nice deep breath in and breathe out. Grounding yourself.